Hello and welcome to this introductory video on radian measure. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the new concept of radian measure. Now, as you all know from your previous study, whenever we measure angles, we measure using the unit degrees. For example, this angle might be 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, and so on and so forth. But there's another unit that we can use to measure angles, and that unit is known as the radian, and it's abbreviated as RAD, meaning radian. Now, what is a radian? When mathematicians created the unit radian, they defined it as follows. The angle theta is always equal to 1 radian if the length of the radius here is equal to the length of this arc. Just to break that down further, if we draw a circle and we go to the center of the circle and we draw 2 radii from the center to touch the circumference, this is one radius, this is another radius. Again, the radius of a circle is just the distance from the center of the circle to the circumference of the circle. So this is the radius, and these two lengths are equal because you're coming from the center going to the circumference of the circle. So these 2 radii are going to create an arc, and this arc here we call it S. The arc is just part of the circumference of the circle. This entire length here is the circumference of the circle. This chunk here that we're taking on the circumference, this is the arc of the circle. This is known as the arc, and we give it the letter S, and the radius we give it the letter R. So if the length of R is equal to the length of S, then this angle theta here, that is defined as 1 radian. So when it comes to radian measure, 1 radian is equal to the angle that is created between 2 radii if the length of the radii is equal to the length of the arc. For example, let's say the radius of the circle was 4 centimeters and the length of this arc here was also 4 centimeters. Then this angle theta here would be equal to 1 radian. If this r here was 5 centimeters and the length of the arc here S was also 5 centimeters, then this theta again would be 1 radian. So 1 radian is basically the angle that is formed between 2 radii in a circle if the length of the radii is equal to the length of the arc that is created by those 2 radii. R here could be 200 centimeters. If that was 200 centimeters and the length of the arc was also 200 centimeters, then the angle created between those 2 radii would be defined as 1 radian. That would be defined as 1 radian. And as you see in the previous video, that angle would be approximately 57.3 degrees. But in the next video, we're going to learn how to convert from degrees to radians and figure out the relationship between degrees and radians. So that brings us to the end of this video on the introduction to the concept of a radian. Until next time.